Hi, here we are in 2021. We made it through 2020. Man, what a crazy year that was. Are we hoping for better things in 2021? Sure we are. You know, there's a quote I saw recently. I kind of liked it. It goes like this. Our hope is not in the new year, but in the one who makes all things new. So far in 2021, we still have COVID-19 and everything that goes with that. Although there is a vaccine on the way, and that's good. We still have friends and loved ones who are ill. We still have bills to pay, taxes to pay. We still have bad people doing bad things. We still have the perennial fruitcake in the freezer. You know what I mean. You get the idea. So the question is, did the new year fix any of those things? No, it sure didn't. Didn't change a thing. About the only thing that did change was the date. Hoping in the new year that's going to get, bring us something good is kind of an uncertain hope. It's more like a wish for something that's probably not going to happen. You know, the Bible talks about where some people put their hope and trust. Psalm 20, verse 7, the first part says, some trust in chariots and others in horses. In 2 Chronicles 1:14, it tells about Solomon accumulated chariots and horses. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horses. He had a lot of stuff. You know, we as humans, we as people, we do tend to trust in possessions, people, organizations to protect us and provide for us and give us joy. But Solomon later on in Ecclesiastes 12, verse 8 says, this is absolutely futile. All things are futile, he says. There's not any hope in any of it. All you have to do to understand that is just look at the news today, and you can plainly see the futility of putting your hope in people or institutions or things to give you hope. Solomon goes on to say in verse 13, he says, having heard everything, I have reached this conclusion. Fear God and keep his commandments, because this is the whole duty of man. So he looked at all the stuff and said, oh, that's futile. The only place there is hope is God. This hope that the Bible talks about is hope with a little bit different meaning. This is biblical hope. Pastor John Piper, whom you might be familiar with, has a few words to say about biblical hope. He says, biblical hope is never based on what is possible with man. Biblical hope instead looks away from man to the promise of God. And when it does, it becomes the full assurance of hope, the expectation of great things from God. In other words, whenever faith in God looks to the future, it can be called hope. And whenever hope rests on the Word of God, it can be called faith. He continues, faith is our confidence in the Word of God. And whenever that word has reference to the future, you can call our confidence in it hope. Hope is faith in the future tense. Stuart W. Scott, in Counseling the Hard Cases, says this about hope. Hope is not defined by the absence of hardship. Rather, hope is found in God's grace in the midst of hardship. Hope is found in his promise to give us a future. I'm hopeful that as a Christian, that you have seen that God is faithful through hardship. He said he will always be with us, and he has proven faithful in that. You know, hope in God does not come naturally for us as sinners. I mean, after all, Christians, as you know, we're sinners just saved by grace of God's grace. We still tend to want to put our trust in things we can see or touch, even though those things always fail to deliver what we hope for. As Christians, we need to constantly remind ourselves to hope in God alone. Now, this is the God who spoke everything into being. He alone does not change, nor does he disappoint, as our hope lines up with his will. If you're not a follower of Jesus, you can put your faith in him, and you will have this confident hope that is grounded on the promises of the God of the universe. So in conclusion, may you have a blessed new year filled with hope in God alone. Thank you.